We have an 8mm shell, which is held together by 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to take those out. Is turn it over this way so you can get the screws out. Sometimes they don't want to cooperate too well. Yeah. Next step you gotta do, you put your screws over here and make sure you count them. And I should have all but one out. Now the next thing is to open the protection gate by grabbing this pin here and yet putting pressure on it, opening up the tape, keeping your hands away from the tape. And now the next thing you want to do is you want to put this on the ground here like this and lift very, very carefully, because there's many components in here. You got the record prevention tab, and you have a device in here that they call a brake. It holds the reels from moving. You need to push that back, and if you want to get the tape to its leader, I always make sure I get the tape to its leader, because you can do least damage to tape where in the beginning where most likely there's no recording. Then you let go of the brake, and now what I gotta do is I gotta bring these reels up. Very careful. And there we have the shower part. If I was going to put it back together, naturally I'd be dealing with a new reshell, and I would have to take that apart. Okay, so again, making sure that I have the leader over here, I would wind as much on this here. Always keeping my eye on that brake device there. And as you can see, I have to
explain those little, you're threading it through some sort of transport.
Yeah, I'm trying because I need to get enough of tape looped around here. On here to put that reel back in. And I think, now again, for me to reel this tape, make sure you have that tape tight. This would be dried and everything by this time. Mm-hmm. And then what you would do is you would take the top, open the top up like this, and sometimes this can be tricky here. Put it on top. Got it. And put the screws back in.
Now explain that a bit about people leaving the tape in the middle where the
yes. Rule of thumb should be whenever you use a tape, you put it in the machine and play it. And if you stop it for any particular reason, before you take it out of the machine, you should always rewind it. Because if you stop it and say in the middle, tape comes out, and you store it, and then you have a catastrophe, it's going to get damaged where information is. And it's going to make it much more difficult to maneuver the tape to get it out. In order to move the reels in the tape, like, you know, reel up like this, you can't because they're locked. And there's a device in there I call the brake. It's really in here, and you got to pull that back, and then you're able to move these reels around. Now, that little brake there is actually this device right here. And what I did is I pulled this brace back from underneath, and I released. You can see this down here, the plastic, and then you can now turn these. And when I let this come in here, now it's locked. That's called the brake of the shell for the reels.